news coming in. Hamas armed wing says that it has handed 13 Israeli hostages, 7 foreign nationals to International Red Cross. Israeli forces have confirmed the release of hostages. This comes amid the ceasefire that has been agreed upon amid the Hamas-Israel war, and Hamas has now released 13 Israeli hostages and 7 foreign nationals to the International Red Cross. My colleague Pradeep Datta joins us on the broadcast with the details. Pradeep, 20 hostages being released by Hamas. What are the details?
Yes, you rightly said the 13 Israelis and 7 foreign other nationals have been released by the Hamas, and they have been handed over to the Israeli authorities, and they will be taken immediately to the hospital for the checkup. As you can see that there were emotional scenes when the first batch of the hostages were united with the families, and the second batch has already been released, because it was only 2 days back, 3-4 days back, when it was decided that there will be a humanitarian pause. Initially, there was some delay in the release of the hostages because the Hamas people had been saying that the aid was not reaching in time to Gaza, and finally that was sorted out by the interlocutor and the people who are mediating in this thing, and finally it was sorted out, and all the 13 had been released, and still there are many more in the captivity. It is to be seen how much more time it will be taken, because there are still 2 more days of humanitarian pause. How many more will be released? Because initially it was agreed that 50 will be released, and if they are going to release more, then maybe the humanitarian pause can further be increased, because this is something what had been agreed upon between the Israeli authorities and Hamas. But initially it was seen that while the agreement was there, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister, was against this truce, because he felt that this will only help them to regroup. But once it was decided that the hostages will be released, and finally the prisoners will also be swapped in exchange for the hostages, and then finally they had to agree upon, because family members of the hostages had been running from pillar to post for the last several weeks, and they wanted the people to be released from the captivity of Hamas, who had been there for about 50 days. Now it's 50 days, and you can see that 13 more people will be coming back home. It's a sigh of relief for the family members who had been waiting for them for the last several weeks, ever since Hamas entered inside Israel on October 7, and they had taken many of them hostages, and 1,600 people were killed. So it's a big sigh of relief for the people, especially the family members waiting for their near and dear ones who had been waiting with open arms. Finally, they'll be reaching home after the checkup.
It's been an extremely long and anxious wait, and finally these hostages have returned home. Pradeep, thank you for joining us with those details. Quick break now.